Welcome again to another one of our series of videos that we're going to do to highlight some of the Net2phone products and features. Today we're going to talk about Teams integration and everything surrounding Teams. Teams is such a popular product right now that a lot of people are already using it. We do offer our Huddle product, but some people are already deeply ingrained in the Microsoft world and use Teams. So we want to very clearly explain to you what that looks like. What are the requirements to a Teams integration? And then what is the difference between direct routing and direct routing plus UCaaS? With me today again is Jason Tellis. Jason, thanks for taking time out of your day to help me explain this stuff. I always say you're here to make sure I'm not giving off any fake news. So thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem.
And I'm just going to let Jason take the wheel and just go through the everything I talked about, and yeah. So Jason, take it away.
All right, here we go. All right, so want to thank everybody for joining. Today we're going to do it. I'm going to provide a Teams demo. We're going to go over Net2phone's Teams solution, our Teams integration. There's two areas that I'm going to focus on. One is our direct routing solution with Teams, and then also our UCaaS plus direct routing. And I'll definitely articulate and separate the two, the differences between the two. I'm also going to briefly go over the licensing requirements for a Teams integration as well. And so first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just demo the call functionality and just show the user experience. So if you have a Teams user, they're going to go ahead and just open up their Teams app, or if they have the Teams mobile app on their smartphone, our integration works on a mobile device as well. And then also Teams provides a physical phone component as well. So if a user wanted to have a desk phone that has a Teams integration, Teams does have a phone where Yealink Polycom, you basically log in using your Microsoft credentials, and then you have that calling functionality through that physical phone as well. And the great thing about all those, about a physical phone, using the Teams app on your computer or using the mobile app with Teams, with Net2phone, our integration works on all devices at the same time. So if you have a desk phone and you have the Teams mobile app, both will ring at the same time. Or if you're on your computer and your desk phone, or have all three, they will all ring at the same time. And wherever you answer that call, you have that ability to answer from any of those three devices. So with that, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to jump right into the Teams app on my Mac here. It's definitely Teams is Mac PC compatible. So I'm going to open this up, and I just want to verify with you, Matt, that you can see my screen. Just want to make sure that we're doing that. Okay.
Yep, we're good to go.
So with that, as you can see, definitely have the Teams app open here, and I'm going to select on the calls. And so with our integration, it's a native integration. So what that means is the Teams provides a dialer, a WebRTC dial pad to make those calls. And so it stays the same. We don't have anything special or anything actually that outside of the Teams application that you would have to download, or like another application that you would add within this environment. It's the same dialer that Teams provides. As you can see, I can do a direct dial. So if I just quickly put in a phone number here, and I'm going to make that call, it's a direct dial. So as soon as I hit call, it's going to make that outbound call. Also, as you can see, I have my DAD. So I have my phone number that's assigned to me for a direct dial. I can be a part of a ring group, maybe a group, like a call group. These last 4 digits is my 4-digit extension. So any Teams user or any non-Teams user, if they're on the phone system, they can dial my 4-digit extension and reach me as well. Or I can dial someone else's 3 or 4-digit extension and reach them as well. So I'm going to make that call and just show you that functionality there. We'll let that answer here.
for calling MCI.
So I'm going to
Our
place it
system
on mute.
indicates you are calling from
But as you can
973.
see, definitely the functionality of being able to call outbound, receive external calls from the outside world, definitely you have that capability. So being able to have your Teams users work directly out of their Teams application and receive calls, make calls, transfer calls, extension dialing, paging, you definitely have that capability through the Teams app. So what the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to actually just go over the licensing. So now that I've shown you really the basics about the call functionality, call history, access to voicemails through Teams, you definitely have that capability. But now we want to go over the licensing, which is really important because we want to make sure that the expectation is set for our customers, that they understand the licensing structure. The reason for that is because Microsoft has their own licensing component. There are specific licenses that need to be obtained through Microsoft. And then with that, then a user has the ability to make those calls to the outside world. So there's a license called a Microsoft Phone Standard license, and it's an add-on. So it's added on to your existing subscription. Let it be an E1, E3. The phone system standard add-on license is required. And what that license does, what that add-on license does is it connects the Teams user to the PSTN or to the outside world. And it allows for the outside world to reach that Teams user. And so it is a required license. It doesn't matter if you're with Net2phone or anyone else, that license is a required add-on license if you want that outside calling functionality. And so I'm going to actually find that document here, and there it is here. So as you can see, we go over the requirements for the licensing. So if you have a subscription of Microsoft Teams Essentials or Basic, Standard, or Premium, or E1 or E3, then the Microsoft Teams Phone Standard license is required. And you obtain this through Microsoft. If you have an E5 license, the phone system standard license is included. So you do not have to obtain that add-on license. So just to make it clear, if you have E5, there's no additional add-on licensing from Microsoft that's required. But if you have any of the lower or E1, E3, or Essential, Basic, Standard, or Premium license, then that Microsoft Teams Phone Standard license is required. And this could be obtained, let it be you obtain it yourself or with your MSP or IT vendor, and they manage your Microsoft subscriptions, they can obtain it as well for you. So with that, I wanted to go over and just provide and show you how we make this all happen. And so I'm going to start off with direct routing. And so I'm going to move a few things around and open up the direct routing solution. And so the difference between direct routing and UCaaS plus direct routing. So with direct routing, Microsoft has their own phone system. And so just like Net2phone, we have our cloud-hosted PBX. With direct routing, Microsoft has their own hosted PBX. And this is the Microsoft Teams Admin Center. And so this is where you can set up your voice, your auto attendance, your users, call routing, voicemail boxes. So this is where you can manage and set all that up. And so the great thing about Microsoft is that they've allowed other phone companies to integrate into their phone system. And that's what direct routing essentially is. It allows another phone company or carrier to connect into their phone system and provide dial tone. And so with that, there's a few responsibilities for the customer and for Net2phone. Net2phone's responsibility is we will provide the dial tone, we'll connect into your Teams Admin Center, and we'll also port and manage your DIDs. And then the customer's responsibility is to actually manage and set up and maintain the phone system. And so essentially it's similar to customers that have an on-prem phone system. You have a phone system in the phone closet, and the phone company comes in and provides some copper lines, or they provide a PRI, and they hand it off to the customer, and then the customer connects those copper lines or that PRI to the phone system. And it's the same. It's similar in the same methodology as far as we're the phone company. We're providing the dial tone. We're managing your phone numbers, but the customer is responsible of managing the phone system. So that's essentially what direct routing is. The benefits direct routing is that with Net2phone is that our call plans, our dial tone, it's unlimited use. So we don't monitor or meter your minutes, so it's unlimited use. You also have the ability where you have access to multiple international countries, 40 plus international countries where there's free calling. So definitely having the benefit of being able to not have metered minutes and then also saving possibly on long distance costs. There's a benefit to that. With Microsoft's call plans, each user or each Teams user, they get a bucket of minutes. And so I believe I want to say 2,000 to 3,000 minutes per user. And then so if those minutes are used up, and then so then you have to add more time per user, and those minutes don't cross over to other Teams user. It's not just one large bucket that everyone shares. It's actually individual based per the user subscription and their call plan individually. So that's a differentiator between Net2phone and Microsoft call plans, where it's just unlimited use. We don't count the minutes. We don't assign a specific amount of minutes per user. And also cost. It could be from $12 to $24 per user, depending if you have the need for just US-based calling, or if you have an international need where you need to call internationally, the call plans double with Microsoft as well. So with that, I'm going to move over to, that's direct routing. And so I'm going to move over to Net2phone's UCaaS plus direct routing. And so I'm going to switch screens again here. And so with Net2phone's UCaaS plus direct routing, the way this works is we actually integrate Net2phone's hosted PBX. This is our hosted PBX in the cloud. What we do is we build everything as far as all the users, extensions. We'll set up auto attendance, ring groups / call groups, and then departments. So everything lives and it's residing within the Net2phone PBX. And then what we do is we can extend or we can add these users into your Teams environment. And so with this, you can also have a hybrid approach where maybe 5 out of 30 users use Teams, but the rest of them just use standard regular desk phones that does not have the Teams integration. And so we can have a hybrid approach where you can have a handful of users with the Teams integration where they can just strictly work out of their Teams app here. But then the rest of the users, maybe you have a lobby phone or a break room phone. You don't need a Teams integration with that. So those extensions or those users don't have to have the Teams integration. But still, those non-Teams users and the Teams users, you can still extension dial between the two. You can transfer calls between the two. So it's a great solution if you have a need for more of a hybrid approach with Teams users and non-Teams users. Or we've had experience with customers where their IT department, they actually like our interface and our portal and the way the admin and manage the phone system better than they like the Microsoft hosted PBX version. So they would rather manage everything within our environment, but then all the users have a Teams integration. So the users have no clue that the back end is actually the Net2phone phone system. So that's one scenario where we find, but then also there's a redundancy component built into our UCaaS plus direct routing, which is great because if Teams were to ever go down or if they had an outage, users can always fall back on Net2phone's mobile app. We have our own mobile app that can be used. Also, they could use our soft phone. So this component here, they could log in and use Net2phone's soft phone as well, maybe for just temporarily while Teams comes back up. But as you can see, there's a redundancy factor built into using the UCaaS plus direct routing as well. So lastly, I wanted to go over just quickly how we make this happen. And so with Net2phone, we have an SBC in the cloud that integrates into the team, into a customer's Teams environment. And so with that, we have the ability, what this does is it bridges the Net2phone network into the customer's Teams tenant. And so every customer has access to this. We will assist and build this for the customer. We'll assist on training on how to manage this portal. This is Net2phone's Teams portal. You have the ability to go in here and add new users for a Teams integration. So as you can see, I can quickly add a name, I can add a phone number, and then I can add specific SIP credentials, which will integrate that user into their Teams environment. And so with that, we have the ability to verify licensing on the Microsoft side, verify to ensure that licensing is correct on the Net2phone side, and then having the types of service. Maybe it's direct routing, that's where we would use a trunk integration. But then if it's a UCaaS plus direct routing where we're integrating into the Net2phone hosted PBX, we would make sure that we assign the correct hosted PBX for that customer. And then you have the ability here to add and remove users. As you can see, here's an existing user. There's a phone number assigned. And also there's specific credentials that are added in here. And then also a customer can have multiple admins. So you can have multiple admins for access capability for management purposes. And so this is just a real high level demo of that functionality of our Teams integration. But definitely I would encourage, get on a call with Net2phone. We can do a demo. We can even provide a proof of concept for a customer where you can test it out and try it out and see if it works for you. So with that, I'm going to hand it back off to Matt, and he's going to close us out here.
Thanks a lot, Jason. Let's just go over a couple of quick questions that people may have. If they want to do the Teams integration or the direct routing, does that add to the implementation time, or does that pretty much allow for a normal 3 to 4 week implementation, like we do with people that don't have Teams?
Right. Yeah. So definitely, implementation does not. It is not extended. It's our normal onboarding process. A customer will be assigned an onboarding engineer. They'll work on with the customer. The biggest, as we know in the industry, what takes the most time is the porting process. So definitely getting the phone numbers to port over to Net2phone is really the longest process. That could take 10 to 12 business days. We start that process right from the beginning. But once that's done, what we do is we schedule a tenant session with the customer. And with that, that's when we're connecting into the customer's Teams environment. And there are some requirements as far as we ask for the individual that'll be on that call. They have access to their global admin credentials. And that's really important because initially the global admin credentials are required to sync into the customer's Teams tenant. So, but once that's done, it's fairly quick. It's a quick process. It's a matter of adding the users, adding the DIDs, and then the day of the port. That's when we move the phone numbers over from one phone company to Net2phone. And so it's very coordinated, but definitely the standard deployment time it still comes into play. Nothing is extended with additional time. That's not needed.
All right, cool. That's really the only question that I had come to mind. I'm sure the people watching will have more for us when they talk to us live. Again, feel free to reach out if you have more questions on this or any other feature that you watch. Thanks again for your time, Jason, and thanks everybody for watching. And have a great day.